What he says is, he says fate is not like a stumbling camel, but he says, I see it like that. Ra'aytu. That's what he's describing. And what he's saying is that often when we look at the world, we see chaos. It doesn't mean that it's chaotic, but we often see only chaos. And that is what the poet is saying. He's describing something that human beings experience. And that's why when we look at the world today, when we look at human beings, we can often forget that there is an order in this universe. When we look at Palestine right now, and look at the madness that's taking place there, and Palestine is the meeting of two worlds. That's all Palestine is. If you want to understand Palestine, all you have to understand is that half of this planet lives on less than $2 a day. Right? And we in the West consume 60% of the world's resources, even though we are less than 10% of the inhabitants of the planet. And where do those two civilizations meet? They meet in Palestine. Because Palestine is taking people from the West and planting them in the midst of a society that has been too long exploited and had its resources expropriated, lived under despotism, largely due to post-colonial traumatic syndrome. And most people are too busy watching the important messages from our sponsors to bother to actually read a book about the history of the Middle East, about colonialism. I mean, just read David Fromkin's A Peace to End All Peace, right? Most people are too busy to realize that most of what's going on in the West that's troubling us is what they call blowback. In CIA parlance, blowback, the unsuspected consequences or unforeseen consequences of our own covert activities. Right? That's all it is. But people don't want, that's troublesome. We want to be in melodrama. Remember? Us versus them. Good versus evil. The evil empire. The axis of evil. These wonderful terms that make life so easy. They're all bad, remember? And we're all good, thank God. Right? Makes it very easy instead of having to deal with these ambiguities, which is what the poets are trying to tell us. We've got problems, you have to think a little bit deeper.